Okay, here we go. All of us face hard choices in our lives, writes Hillary Rodham Clinton, but life is about making such choices. Our choices and how we handle them shape the people we become. This quote, the long version is on the screen, describes the end of Clinton's unsuccessful 2008 presidential run and the beginning of an unexpected opportunity to serve in the Obama administration as Secretary of State. When asked why she was willing to lend credibility to a former political rival, fresh on the heels of a heated political campaign, she stated, "When the President of the United States asks for your service, you serve." This attitude and dedication is characteristic of Clinton's life, a life of public service and duty which continues to this day. I chose to read Hard Choices by Hillary Rodham Clinton because I admire Hillary as a leader and a statesperson. I think she's a strong woman. I think that despite her politics, it's undeniable that she is intelligent, that she's passionate, that she has faced more than her share of political and personal attacks and manages to handle those situations with dignity and maintains her composure and respectability. And I find those things admirable. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and obviously I'm a Clinton fan, so I'm just going to go ahead and review the book as a Clinton fan because there's no reason to not do that in this case. Um, I really believe that foreign policy and diplomacy and America's reputation around the world is more important now than at any other point in our history because we are such a global community. And I think that the State Department plays a huge role in that very important part of what's happening politically. I thought that this would be a good time to dive into the book because I read a lot, but I don't read these types of books. So I chose this book because I wanted to read about Clinton, and it is a 600-page monster. So to do a brief summary is really all I can do here with the amount of information that was included in this book. But it was a good choice for me. And reading this inside account of the choices that she made and the challenges that she faced in her 4 years as the 67th Secretary of State really confirmed for me how I feel about her as a leader, that she's passionate, that she's disciplined, that she's determined, and those things shape her as a person as well as a politician and a statesperson. This book is an in-depth look at how the experiences of those 4 years at state shaped her and continue to shape U.S. foreign policy. When you look at her tenure in the State Department in comparison to that of her predecessors, I think it's clear that she was the architect of and had her own vision of U.S. statesmanship and foreign policy. You could say that she was one of the main architects of this revitalized version of U.S. smart power, which emphasizes employing U.S. resources to accomplish the policy goals of the United States. In addition to the international crisis management that's generally perceived as one of the main roles of the State Department, Clinton's approach was really more forward-thinking and big picture, was strategic and focused on the end goal. One of her taglines was "Follow the trend lines, not the headlines." It wasn't always about just responding to what's happening right now. As a master of statecraft, she focused on repairing political stability, political instability, promoting democracy and human rights throughout the world, continuing to strengthen the United States as an indispensable ally in the world to all of those countries and peoples who are seeking the development and promotion of freedom. Promoting women's rights has always been one of her passions. Human rights and equality for everyone who seeks a better life for their country, their people, and their families. When Secretary Clinton began her tenure, she and Obama and his administration had to decide where to begin first. And it was pretty clear from the moments before President Obama took office that he would have to focus almost his entire time and energies on the financial crisis that was far worse than anyone had really originally suspected. This would leave Clinton on her own to kind of repair our reputation abroad, to rebuild some old relationships that had suffered over the past several years, and to extend the olive branch to others in the hopes of gaining new and stronger alliances throughout the world. China, Iran, North Korea, and revolutions throughout the Middle East all presented problems and issues to be dealt with and policies to be made. Clinton would log more miles and visit more countries than any Secretary of State before her. All said, she visited 112 countries and traveled almost 1 million miles. All of this travel would provide her with the knowledge and experience and the relationships that were necessary to build, um, to promote further U.S. interests abroad and strengthen U.S. security at home and provide the political context and worldview to help her begin to shape policy. In this book, she argues for intelligent use of smart power, whether it takes the form of deployment when needed, the use of microloans, or the smart use of USAID. The goal was to support, to nurture, and to strengthen fledgling democracies throughout the world. Secretary Clinton felt that this was a way to advocate and to show what U.S. help and guidance can do, whatever form it takes. U.S. policy and human rights policy merged even more throughout her tenure at state and promoted, as she always had done, those equal rights, human rights, women's rights, and children's rights. No matter the religion, gender, orientation, or nationality, human rights are universal, and for her, this was the bedrock and foundation from which she crafted and grew her State Department. If rights are equalized and everyone is able to participate in and share equally of their society and their country, then and only then will the balance begin to shift, and then and only then will we really have a true global community where we all can work together, where people feel like they have a say in their local and national and global communities, where people feel safe, and where there is safety for some, there is safety for all. And that's one of the hallmarks of Clinton's time in the State Department. So that's my review of Hard Choices by Hillary Clinton. I recommend the book. It's a long one, but it's incredibly interesting and pretty inspiring, I thought. Thank you.